What's going on, guys? It's RC. I have been away way too long. Actually, it is September of 2025, so it has been 13 months since a city update. For you guys out there that are still watching this channel, I appreciate it a lot because I don't post anything very often. So thank you guys for hanging in there, especially 13 months, a year and a month. That's quite a while. But I figured since I have made quite a bit of progress on the city, I know some of you guys probably thought I just quit or gave up, but it's quite the opposite. I've made quite a bit of progress, and I figured I'd go ahead and give you guys another city tour and just show you everything that I've got going on and all the progress that I've made between the mountain and the city. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you, and here we go. I'll take you down the western side right fast, and as last time, I have done nothing with the western side. I've done zilch. You see it. Same exact setup as last time. But I have worked more on the actual mountain, the actual city here. So one of the first things I've been working on here is my rescue tower. So this thing here is what was the rescue like headquarters small mock that I had in there, but it was horrible. It was one of my first mocks when I started getting back in. So one of the newest improvements of the city is this actual rescue headquarters tower that I've been working on. I still have a lot to go. So you can see one floor here that I've actually been working on. It is all tiled, checkered in. It's got a woman working at a reception desk, I guess. And then I've got the same thing going on here. It's more like a control center, control tower. That's what he's got going on, and you can kind of see him in there past the water cooler and everything. But yeah, there you go. You can kind of see him back there, and he's controlling everything. You know, he's watching the traffic in the sky and everything like that. This is modular. Every floor has a, you can take it off, you know, just take each one off. And each floor will be different. I'm going to have some for like the fire rescue and stuff like that. I'm going to have some hospital rooms. I'm going to have a bunch of that. And so when I get to the other side of the city, I'll try and show you guys the back side of it. It's kind of hard to get to from here. But I did manage to use some of the original parts that I thought were unique to this actual set, which are these windows. I used them as a skylight, but I feel like they came out pretty good. But these were like some three-sided windows that they came out with, almost like a bay window. So I kept on, figured out a way to use them in the mock itself. But I've got more parts on the way, and this thing is eating up tile. As you can see, the 1x1 tile checkered floor in there is definitely eating through some parts. I also need windows. I'm using clear, so that way you can actually see through it better than that blue tinted. And the clear is a little harder to get a hold of. I've got quite a few of them in there already and quite a few floors done. But it is, I've just got to get more windows. And I've actually got the tiles in the mail. So I'll be tiling and doing the interior here shortly. So another thing that I've actually got to do here recently is because my pad wall had the 1x1 tiles on there, and I don't know if you can see that, but I've been able to tile the water in the city, in at least this section of it. I still have to do more out there, but you can see that I was able to at least add water to, or the water tiles to this section here. And so they had them in the 1x1s. In fact, sorry about that, but you can see here they had them in the 1x1s at my local pick-a-brick wall. So I just got a whole bunch of them. It's one of my cheapest and easiest routes to get parts, is that pick-a-brick wall at my local Lego store. So another thing that I've been working on is the Daily Bugle. I have pretty much got a scenario here is where the Spider-Verse portals are opening up all around and through the Daily Bugle. And so I've got all sorts of scenes that are playing out from all sorts of different movies, different, I guess, what they call a Spider-Verse, different universes within Spider-Man. And so I have got, last time I checked, there was like 34 figs on here. And I think there's like 19 different Spider-Men total. I've got the Vulture up here. And I'll tell you what I did with the Vulture, because the Lego Vulture is cool and all. I built my own wings. I did that thing myself. I got a idea from the actual Lego set, but I kind of built it myself because I couldn't find just the wings anywhere or the set. So I just built it out of spare parts. But what the off-brand Vulture did offer is, if you see the feet on the minifig, and then the handles, and then, you know, almost like the whole jet fighter look to them, just like in the movie. So I went ahead and bought the off-brand fig just for those accessories. But I mean, it was like $4, so is what it is. And then I've got a bunch more in there. I've got a bunch of the new series figs from the new Spider-Man series that came out. Got Spider-Man 2099, the Prowler. There was quite a few other ones in there that I got. Like Hobie over here playing the guitar. And then that's the new Spider-Man train from the Tobey Maguire movie. But that's a new one that they just released. And I kind of built it like in a portal coming out and through the Daily Bugle there. I've got Hobgoblin on this side. Even got the Hulk with Carnage up there. I've got a couple of different Doc Ocks. I've got an old school comic book version. I've got this version here from the Tobey Maguire Peter Parker one. I've got the one up there, and who's got the TV newscast member. That one actually came with the Bugle. And then I pieced together and kind of made Dr. Octavia, which is the woman from the first animated Spider movie, or Spider-Man movie. But I got the wolf figure over there. I got quite a few figures on there. And so that's been one of my, I guess, bigger projects I've been working on here lately, just because I had to take apart a lot to get that train to fit in there, and just been building and trying to place all the figs. So down here has kind of remained the same. I added the helicopter, which is a old vintage set from my day and age, and I absolutely love this thing. The lights work and the sirens work because it's ones that have sound. I'd have to open it up to turn it on. I'm not gonna do that at the moment, but I added the helicopter over here, and I've added this train, or I guess monorail, whatever you want to call it, which many of you know that's come out here recently. So I added this one to the city. I actually like that one because of the simple fact that I felt like it really matched the airport shuttle really well. So that's one of the newer builds of the city. Last time, this was actually a guy on a lawnmower mowing over here, and I just went ahead and turned this into some landscaping to kind of make that nice. That's what I've really been focusing on in the city, is just to try and tighten up loose ends, you know, just little odds and ends that I didn't get to really finish out. And so I've added a couple of micromanagers climbing a creator tower here, and they're trying to get their way over here to Emmett and Craggle them. My Lord Business is trying to block them off. I added, just like I said, I've been adding a couple other things like billboards, and you know, these guys working on the Lego sign in front of the new Lego store in there, just adding trees and details. I have been working on the Scooby-Doo section a little bit here for Halloween, so I did end up getting the new Haunted Mansion from the creator Haunted Mansion, and I'll be honest with you, I was not prepared to get two. I just wanted a small little Haunted Mansion to add over here on the side. I thought it was a cool set. But when I bought the one, just the one by itself when it was folded up was kind of silly and it didn't look good at all. So what I ended up doing is buying another one, and personally I feel like I really overpaid, but I do like the final outcome, and I was able to kind of build my own little haunted mansion from doing 2 of them, and I feel like it looks way more like a haunted mansion than what they gave us with the creator set, or that just single creator set. I feel like the ghost figures are what they're really charging you for in that set. But either way, this is the haunted mansion that I came up with, and so I've been working on this. I absolutely love the fall colors on these plant elements here to make these trees look more like you know, a fall haunted mansion type Halloween time. So I am going to order more of these. I actually have them in my basket, but I'm going to order more of these, and I'm changing them all out. So all these that are green, all these trees over here where the wolf and stuff is, this is green. I'm going to change this all out to those more dark browns, reds, and tans over there. And so, like I said, just the haunted mansion, and I actually added Timmy from Time Cruisers in his little car. I can't even remember what this is. This is actually another set and theme that's from my day and age, early 90s. And I added it to the haunted section because of the simple fact that he is part of, this guy is part of the Time Cruisers, and those are supposedly the good guys. And then you got this, which are Time Twisters, which are supposedly the bad guys. But if you look at the Time Twisters, they actually come with bats and these wings that have spiders, and then they come with Ghost also. So Ghost actually come in those sets with the Time Twisters as well. So I figured it really fit well with the haunted side, just that overall theme. So I went ahead and, since I'm incorporating Time Cruisers and Time Twisters all over my city, I figured that would be a good spot to go ahead and put some. So I did that. That's one of the newer things that I did. I added another Lego movie set right here, the airplane, which is a plumbing truck, or this. That's one cool thing about the Lego movie sets, is that a lot of them had alternate builds. So you could build multiple things out of this. You could build a plumbing truck or this airplane thing that they build out of a plumbing truck. So since the people are going to war with Lord Business in my city, I figured I'd just go ahead and do the airplane there. But that is still the same pretty much, because I believe this was in the last update video. I'm not sure. Possibly not, but this is another one with the firefighter. I can't remember what this set's called either. It's the firefighter truck versus another micromanager. So I added to the Sandman section over here, and I added Electro, you know, another Spider-Man fighting. And then this is the other side of the Bugle, and you can see where I've got more figures, and you can see how I've put Daily Bugle down the side of the building instead of the top, because it just runs pretty much to the ceiling, and it blocks a whole lot of view of the other stuff going on there. So I just ran it down the side there. And then this is the other side of the rescue tower, the rescue headquarters tower. This is supposed to be like a elevator, and if you see, there's actually an elevator in there, and it's kind of got like a car, and then it goes up and down. In each floor, you can decide which floor you want to put the elevator, and you can put it in either floor you want. I built like a little cubby hole, and then on the other side, it just looks like elevator doors. But then when I fill my windows in right there, it'll kind of look like just the empty elevator shaft. And then so that's the back side of this here, and then it's got a small helicopter pad, and then, you know, little antenna there. And it'll all, like I said, it'll all be full of detail, and then each section's modular, so it all comes apart. There's 12 floors to this total, so I actually really like that. I feel like it really filled in a gap that I had in the center of the city, where this Bugle over here was so tall, and then the mountain was so tall, and then it was just empty through here. So I really like how the tower helps fill in a lot of that void. I've added just some random cars out into out and around, like the RV. That's another early 90s set, but I added that to on a sand area, I guess you would say, almost like a little jetty that goes out there. And just been, like I said, adding population and density to the city with tightening up all little odds and ends. These are, a lot of times I just try and find ways to incorporate vehicles into my city because I really like the vehicles, and I probably don't have the room for it, but I'll try my hardest to figure it out. So with that said, this is the main part. This right here is what I have been working on, and it does go from the table to the ceiling, and this is what I have spent the majority of the time spent in the Lego room over the past year has been gone to working on this. So I have been working off of a 3-foot ladder for the most part. In fact, there's a step stool right now. I need that just to show you guys what I got going on. And by the way, I was just putting this away because it was on the ladder. If you guys don't have one of these, I don't know what you're doing, because if you have a city, if you don't have a city, I get it. But even if you still have shelf ones, you just hold the button and this thing works pretty good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I love this thing. You get it on Amazon and it's like $20. This one's called Miko Elverdy or whatever that says. See if it'll zoom in on there. But anyways, I would suggest if you have a Lego city, or if, like I said, even if you have shelf pieces, this thing makes life so easy. But anyways, so I have completely finished the Time Cruiser's cave. Let me turn this on. There you go. So I have completely finished Time Cruiser's cave. It is got all the blue lights in there, so everything glows. All the pieces glow. I got a little warm yellow light back there where the women, or the cave women, are. And then there's all sorts of scenes going on here. There's an Aqua Zone guy grabbing crystals. There's islanders back in there. There's wizards. There's dragons. You know, the pterodactyl. We got T-Rex, robots, the professor. We got the pharaohs. So pretty much the professor goes around and just collects all sorts of things from all sorts of times and places, and so that's what the cave's supposed to really represent. And then I really like how everything in this, like, this theme, it has a lot of the pieces that glow, especially under the blue light. So I really capitalized on that in making this cave, and because the glowing, I feel like, is a really cool feature. So that's the Time Twisters, or I mean the Time Cruisers cave. I pretty much built this exactly how I told you guys I was going to build it in the last video. So I'll go ahead and step on the step stool right quick. But we have the Wolfpack Tower here, and has pretty much a moat underneath it with a gator there. I have this tunnel, well, kind of a pathway, and this is where the cave women are in the back, if you can see past down there. And then the cavemen are going out hunting. So they've come up this pathway that takes you over here and then back up through here. In fact, you can kind of see it better this way. And then as you come through there, there's a troll who's guarding the passageway. And then it comes over here and it opens up and it breaks off into 2 different sections. And so the waterfall falls right before, and you can see that waterfall there. And that's actually the same waterfall that you see down here. So they connect. And then you go up here, and I've got more of the Wolfpack sets, like this one right here, the wagon set, and then a bunch of the Wolfpack figures. I only was able to find 2 of the new Wolfpack figures, but that's fine with me because I had all the other ones, all the old ones, but those Wolfpack figures were like insane to try and get a hold of. It was crazy. But after the Wolfpack side, so I pretty much broke up the Wolfpack side, which is this kind of island slash broken off part of the mountain, because you can see how the waterway here, this is what feeds that waterfall I just showed you guys a minute ago. And then it comes over this way. I still have to connect over here, but I have to pull the table. I'm gonna have to pull this part of the city out so I can get back there, which the whole table moves, so I'll be able to do that. But if you look right here, there is the other waterfall. That's where the water breaks up right there. It splits 2 different ways. And then that's the waterfall that fills up the Time Cruiser side down here. In the Time Cruiser cave, I mean. So once you cross the bridge, you get over to the Forestman side. And like I said, I still have to finish that over there, but I got to pull this other part of my city out. So I've got a couple of the centaurs and the goats. And then I just used 2 of the GWP Forestman hideouts for this. And I just kind of built something that I could put over here on like a small little platform area to give the Forestmen like their own little section to just represent, you know, the Forestman area. Because as you guys know, I don't have all the room in the world, so I just kind of compact everything together. I don't really care too much about space and scale. I'm just trying to represent all factions, themes, and parts of the whole, like the theme itself. But, and then this goes into what I've used from a 3-in-1 creator set. They had those 3-in-1 creator sets for a while. So I've used that to build the 2 towers that kind of represent a gate with an entranceway to let the people in to the city. So that way they can do trading and whatnot. Buying goods, selling goods. So let's see if this camera can pick it up. But it actually has an area back there. There you go, you can see it. That's the other side of coming through that entranceway that I just showed you. So that's coming in there. And then if I come out here, you can see that's just the front of it. And then that's that stairwell on the back side of this tree, or should I say pathway, that walks up and meets back up to the front there. I know that's kind of hard to see, but it's just pretty compact through here. I'm not gonna lie. I had to put a lot into getting all this to fit in here. So what I've got, I'll actually come back to that. I'll come back to the top. So when you come through the walkway that I explained to you earlier, you got 2 options. You got the left and then you got the right. So they've come through the right way, and they've got a couple knights, a couple guards that are guarding a princess that's showing up. And I guess she's been on a trip or something somewhere, and everybody's welcoming her back. And if you see, we've got all sorts of things going on here. We got people playing music. We've got a jester juggling. We've got a guy breathing fire. We've got guards everywhere. There's all sorts of different kinds of minifigures in here. And the goat herder has brought a couple of goats as a gift to the king. And then it has a little, it's kind of hard to see through. There you go. Has like a walkway across, and that's guarding the entrance to the cave. So that is how you get access to all the parts of this, is that I have cave entrance and cave access, and that's how you get to different parts of the castle area. So over here, that same pathway that I was talking about with the, over here with the guards, and then the eagle over here, the eagle guy, it goes to this, which is another entranceway that comes in here, and the dragon knights are protecting it. And then it goes here, and then if I cut back here, you can see that it cuts down there, and then you can see those other guards that are looking up from the high ground over on people who will be coming in through the city. And so this actually connects as well. I'm going to try and point it out for you guys here. In this entranceway right here, that's actually what goes back behind there where I showed you that other horse and buggy that comes in through this entranceway over here. And then up here, what we've got going on is an all-out brawl. So we've got the Fright Knights up here, and they have decided to attack the Lion Knights. But the Lion Knights pretty much have a peace treaty and a agreement with all the other factions around here they team up together against the Fright Knights. So you've got Forestmen up here, we've got the Dragon Knights up here, the Eagle, I can't remember which one he is, but he's the Eagle guy. Like I said, the Forestmen, I've got him flying in on one of those hawks, those giant hawks that they make. I think it's from Harry Potter, to be honest with you. But I figured that was perfect for the Forestmen. And then the dragon people, well, the Dragon Knights in that minifigure series, they didn't come with wings or anything. So essentially what I did is I gave them a dragon to ride so that way they could fly. And then we've got evil wizards down here fighting with good wizards over here. We've got the Forestmen in here, and the Fright Knights have attacked on them. This guy's going over the cliff. He's pretty much done. We've got a couple of them there. And then what has happened is they've found access to the tunnel system that the castle and the Lion's Knight and everybody use to get around the castle area. So he's coming out of a cave entrance right there. And then if you look back over here, this guy up on this tower, he has another cave entrance. That's how he gets to that tower, and you get over to this one as well. And then through here, you can see that there's another cave entrance with what is a pathway that they're all coming out of. All the Fright Knights and the Bat Lords, they're all flying out of this cave entrance. And then it wraps around over here. Let's see if I can get to it. There you go. And it's a Lion Knight guard, and he's giving the first one a go for his money, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it against all the Fright Knights that are coming in and the Bat Lords. And then so you've got the evil witch here in her, I guess it's kind of like a hot air balloon, but they use a dragon. I really like this set, but what I really liked more was this adventurer's dragon that came out of an adventurer set. And I thought that this dragon went so much better with this set. So I ended up getting that dragon. That is actually a pricey dragon. Somebody bought that for me for a gift. I had no idea they were going to get that for me. So, but I ended up putting that dragon on here because I felt like it went so much better with that set. And we've got more of the other Fright Knights on the black dragons coming in, and then they're attacking from above. And so I'd have to still get more Lion Knights figs. I still have a lot more figs to get to completely finish this off. But I have Medusa here. She's up in a cave up top. They keep her up there away from everybody. But I actually have a Bat Lord figure that looks just like these guys, but he's turned to stone. So what I need is I need the dark gray wings to finish off the complete turn to stone look. And then when I do, I'm gonna have Medusa turning him to stone up here in this this little cave that she has up at the top of the mountain. And so I'll come back down a little bit and I'll explain a little more about the village area down here where they're all coming in. So this is an actual build that's on Rebrickable. And so I got the instructions off of there, and then I built this one, and I really love this. This thing's got so many cool rooms, so many cool little features. I've had to modify it quite a bit to get it to fit in my area and to get it to do what I want, but I really like this set. I had to get quite a few pieces, and it got pretty pricey, I'm not gonna lie, but I really like it. It came out really good, I think. It's like a medieval market village is what it was, and it was one of the ones that they made on Rebrickable, and you just bought the instructions. So, and then the back side is open on that build, so that way you can see everything. And then it's got, you know, a library, and it's got like a armory and a blacksmith down there, and just an overall good build, very cool build. And then this all, once I get the Line Knights minifigures, this, and then like I told you about the other stone Fright Night fig that Medusa's, this is pretty much done. This is about it, I'm not gonna lie. This has been taking a while, but I really like how this has turned out. I cannot tell you how much better I like this than what I had to sacrifice to get this. So what I did have to sacrifice in order to get this side of the mountain complete is that the AquaZone MOC is no longer around. I had to cannibalize it for all the parts, so that way I could build this up. I had to get the white bricks, I didn't have those, but in order to get all the slopes and all the dark gray bricks and everything else that I needed for all the mountain work and to finish off all of this, I just really had to sacrifice it. I was kind of spreading my parts too thin is what was really going on, and I had all my parts spread out around too many projects instead of just focusing on getting this mountain done, which is exactly what I need to do. So that's why the AquaZone MOC had to go. But in the meantime, I cannot complain. I am happy with what I used the parts for. So I be honest with you guys, I don't even miss the AquaZone MOC. But the mountain is coming along very well. Still have to do the Arctic. Arctic is coming soon, because now this is complete. So pretty much next thing in line is right there. So the next time I make a update video, you guys can pretty much count on that being done, and there will be a Arctic zone up there. I have not done much with the pirate side, because as before, the pirate side was pretty much done. I've just been doing a couple odds and ends on it, adding a few more things here and there, you know, nothing big. Like I added this right here to kind of look like a blast from a cannonball had hit the mountain and blown rock pieces out of the way. I added this guy here. They've got a vine, which they use as rope, because I mean, they're islanders, right? So anyways, they've speared through the pirate ship, and he's getting ready to board. So I also started adding the water in here, and should I say more like the disturbed water, the bubbles, so that way it kind of gives it that movement look. And just got to get some more clear pieces, and I'll be able to do a lot more of this. But that's about it on the Islander side. It is just pretty much the same. Haven't really done much there. Underwater, like I said, now that the underwater AquaZone is done, that's it. I don't have anything under there really. It's just a couple of remnants of it. This is where it was. Nothing left. And I've got all the AquaZone sets just sitting on the sides here and all around. And so I just keep that under there for right now until I get back to that, because like I said, I have to do my parts accordingly. I can't just keep spreading them out so thin. But that is the city, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate any comments, feedback, anything in between. Feel free to mention anything you want in the comments, I guess. But yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. Sorry about that. I was walking out the door at the same time while I was saying goodbye to you guys. But I appreciate you. Thanks so much. I hope everything's going good for everybody else. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.